So I am here at LAX waiting for my flight to Pennsylvania, and uh, LoSer Con, which is Lord of Spirits uh, convention or conference. I think it's convention. Uh, hey, Sandy. I hope you guys can hear me fine. Um, it's yeah. When I connected to the Wi-Fi. Hey, Ryan! Ryan, you should at some point jump on because I do want to talk more about Fountain of Comfort, and you're the perfect person to talk about Fountain of Comfort with. Um, yeah, so there's a bunch of people. um, Ryan is one of the uh, acknowledged stars of this little corner of the internet. Um, if you never listened to my post-Platonic um, podcasts on Spotify, he did one of the episodes, I believe. I think Chad also only did one episode. Post-Platonic was actually one of the things I was very hopeful about, which unfortunately didn't take off. But there's only so much that I am willing to try something to see if it takes off before I kind of move on to something else. I hate to say it, but the same is true of Fountain of Comfort. At some point, smoking is permitted in designated. Yes, I have a flight, and guess what? Boarding starts in about an hour. So, yeah. We could talk about Natsitsa Bepe if you guys really, really want to. But, yeah, LAX might be the wrong place to do that. There's a link if somebody wants to join. But I'm just sitting here. Any hopes for LOS conference expectations? Well, I brought a bunch of dice. That's important. We are playing first edition D&D, and I was assured by Father Stephen that I will be allowed to play a bard. I don't know if we're going to be playing up to 11th level or not. Bard has to be minimum 5th level fighter, 5th level thief before you can do multi-class. I think I'm gonna play a half elf. Not sure. Probably gonna do a half elf. Makes sense. Half elf. I'll start with fighter and we'll see what level we're playing. I looked up the Archbishop who is going to be
Thursday, 7 days a week.
Speaking about it.
No entry is allowed except for airline passengers and persons meeting, accompanying, or assisting them. And airport
These
personnel.
notices are going to be very annoying.
All others must exit the airport.
There's an Archbishop of the OCA who's speaking, who
Thank you.
very interesting stuff. He's very interested in the Hebrew Bible and Judaism. Yes, Alexander Golitsyn. Don't know much about him other than what I looked up. When I tried looking up the videos that he had done, um, there was like a 2-year-old comment that I had left on a video by him where he had said that Second Temple Judaism was focused around the temple, which seems like an obvious thing to say, but I disagree. Um, on Saturdays, Jesus went to the synagogue. That's I think the book of Matthew, maybe Luke. Luke. I think it's Luke that says that. And yeah, actually, I'm thinking it's Luke. And I mean, somebody could look it up. Ooh, do we have a guest?
Attention to the terminal, attention to the terminal, JetBlue Airways Flight 29.
Sandy isn't functioning for some reason.
Please come to gate 55 B for video boarding.
Is that the group of Eastern Orthodox people who are into Jewish mysticism? Is that what? I mean, I can't go to the website right now, but I'm guessing that's what you're talking about. Sandy's, I can't. Your video is not functioning, so I can't seem to add. Yeah, so there we go. And there you are.
Hey, now
How
I
you
feel like
doing?
I'm almost in LAX again.
How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, so Makom, I guess that's how you. I mean, that is the Hebrew word. Archbishop Golitsyn is the founder of this group. Yeah, so there's a group of Eastern Orthodox scholars
Los Angeles
who.
International Airport is proud to welcome and support our active duty military and their families.
Can you guys hear that?
USO, located at the historic Bean Building, is open during limited hours to
So,
provide a range of hospitality services.
since the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls and people actually paying attention to it, there have been increasing numbers of Christians who are recognizing that the esoteric tradition within Judaism is obviously thousands of years old. And half of the stupid things people say about Kabbalism has become obviously stupid things that nobody really says anymore. So, immersive experience, I feel like I'm right there at LAX. So, Sandy, how are things in Canada?
Good. It's raining.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how much I should prepare. I brought a jacket that's good for rain, but I didn't bring shoes that I almost wore my waterproof shoes because we are going to be at a retreat, and apparently there's at least some of the things that are going to be held a 5 minutes walk from the retreat center. But I figure with a bunch of old Orthodox priests, you can't possibly be expecting anything too outdoorsy. So I'm hoping I'll be fine.
I guess it depends on what kind
Attention, all first guests are on flight 709 to Pacific Detroit, welcoming all out to gate 56B. Once again, sorry, guests are on flight 709 to Series.
It's really hard to listen to you and the announcements at the same time, especially when this guy seems he seems to be speaking in French. Did he just say something in French?
I missed it. I was trying to see it. It says I can join the chat, but no. I don't know how people do that when they're in StreamYard.
Ryan says Everything I know about Kabbalah, I learned from Neon Genesis Evangelion. Yeah, that's true of a lot of people, and unfortunate. Let me see if I can.
So Kabbalah is part of our next book club topic.
It is, although I think that title is a tiny bit clickbaitish. So I actually like. The more I think about it, I actually think Tomer Devora is an exceptionally good introduction to Judaism, especially for Christians. Partially because I have been talking to a lot of Christians recently about the what I would say is the polytheistic nature of the Christian view of evil.
Okay, yeah, because I will have questions about that possibly in book club, depending on how the readings go compared to some videos I've watched.
So Tomer Devora was written by Rabbi Moses Cordovero. He was the teacher of Rabbi Isaac Luria, the Arizal. And the reason why Dr. Henry Abramson and Rabbi Breitowitz, both of whom come from the Lithuanian wing of Orthodox Judaism, and so they would never actually teach actual Kabbalah in public, much less on YouTube. They feel comfortable. They feel comfortable teaching it because it is the Kabbalah of the Ramak, Rabbi Moses Cordovero, and therefore it's not actual Kabbalah. It's not the Kabbalah that we believe is in force. That's the best way I can put it. It's not how we. It is not the halacha. It is not the way of the Kabbalah. So, but its teachings are still very popular within Judaism, and it's still within Orthodox Judaism, and that's why you get people. And honestly, the point of Tomer Devora is to explain how God is incredibly merciful. And by incredibly, I really do mean incredibly, like beyond what we are willing to believe, merciful. And so, to teach us to be similarly merciful.
Yeah.
Hey, Fezzi. By the way, that discussion Chezi had with Gilad was interesting. I haven't finished it, but it was definitely interesting.
I saw part, not all of it either.
Well, they actually call it LoSerCon, so that's the actual name of the thing. Yeah, but while I was watching it, especially during the first half, I kind of constantly was like, yeah, because Zionism is morally and ethically bankrupt. Wake up, Chezi and Gilad. I thought that was obvious from the things they were saying, but that's beside the point. Yeah, it was.
It was a good conversation, though.
It was a good conversation, but it was a conversation that needed somebody saying, okay, have you considered that maybe this whole project is a bad idea and nonsensical? Maybe.
Somewhere, somehow, somebody's project's got to fly.
Yeah, yeah.
One day.
One day, one project's going to fly. This is true. Hopefully, Fountain of Comfort will fly. We'll see.
Final boarding call for all guests on space flight 709 to service to Detroit. If you confirm guests on this flight, please make way to gate 56C. Last and final. Thank you.
Not my flight. My flight's boarding starts in 40 minutes, and takeoff is supposed to be at 10:40. It's 9:17, so like in an hour and 20 minutes.
Yep.
And my airplane is trying to make me think. Maybe it's divine. Yeah. Looking around, Hazi, I would say not divine, not divine, not divine. Anyway,
You may have to wait a while to find out.
I mean, I hate, like, maybe I should wait 30 days before I say it, but yeah. Jacob sounding like the doubters during the time wandering in the wilderness right now. Am I back? I think I'm back. Think.
What does that mean?
There we go. I'm back. Point of view, you're shorter than Jacob. Nobody's shorter than Jacob.
In designated areas of lake.
Here, is this better?
Smoking while walking throughout the building.
Impossible. Comments, conversations.
I mean, it's easier to read things than you try to speak and then an announcement comes on. Okay, I have to hold it like this for the rest of the day.
Definitely better.
May I have your attention, please? All travelers, if
I should probably just
any item is
Talk about Fountain of Comfort or
accepted and notify
Ooh, talk about Fountain of Comfort. So, I mean, it would be nice if we had many, many, many more people. I mean, you have been very kind, Sandy, in your donations, as have several other people, especially the people who are more. Yes, Gartham, I am flying. Am I bald? Am I really, Charlie? Am I really? So, Fountain of Comfort. People keep on asking me, what are we going to do with Fountain of Comfort? And, like, they have this anticipation that you first do things and then they can contribute to it. And it's like, cart horse, like, come on. You can't do things before people pay for it. And I understand people want to pay for continuing operations of something that's already going. And I mean, don't know what to tell you. I feel weird touting my counseling skills because I am not like actually certified in any way. But I think that the people who have been involved in this community and people need to do need to recognize that it is a startup. Yeah, and look, if you've been involved in this community, I think you see what kinds of things we are trying to accomplish, and see how that at least some people have in fact been helped. Now, if you yourself have been helped, I would like to think um, you would step up and pay the $5 a month just to show, yes, I am somebody who thinks this community is important. At the same time, I'm not going to go up to people and be like, hey, you know, you're somebody who should be giving $5 a month. But I think the people I'm guilt tripping enough as it is, as he says, if you build it, well, I built it. Will they come?
So a question, when you were talking about participation of the people in your network as a community and whether or not we can behave like a community and do things together, what, like, aside from all the chatter, what does it look like? Like, if you had a dream, what does it actually look like? What are we doing?
Okay, so if somebody gave me $1 million, I would buy a retreat that was not too far away from some good, like a not too far away from an appropriate monastery, and we would be able to have a we would be able to have people actually coming to the retreat for spiritual renewal. And to some extent, I would like to see a sort of community form, like, but this is way down the line. Right now, I'm just asking 100 people to give $5 a month, and with that $500, I would like to hire a, well, the fact is $500 a month would only pay mostly for administrative type stuff. But if we get close, like at some point, I would like to hire somebody who can do free counseling for people who really need it. And there's plenty of people in this little corner who can use, even if it's like group counseling or something, we could do something like that. Jacob feels bad for all the Lutheran shaming, so now he's offering the mental health resources to cope with it.
That's right. And for $5 a month, you can participate. It's $60 a year, less than a good magazine.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's not like it's Lutherans have enough guilt for everyone.
Somebody has to hang on to it. Oh, that's what they used to call a blog.
He's got you there. He has got you there.
That's okay. I already told them my age. I left a few breadcrumb trails, though.
So, I forget who it was, but somebody pointed out to me that a little child, like, once asked, "Why do they call it hanging up the phone?" It's like, yeah, I guess you've never physically hung up a phone, have you?
653. You're located on to number 5. You're on the first floor, cancel number 4.
Once again, you are located on Terminal 5. You'll be receiving your luggage on the first floor, desk number 4.
See, Garth has the right idea. Denounce a Starbucks coffee and donate. Uh, Frankly, I think $5 a month is, the fact is, it's not anything. And while, okay, if you were to give $5 a month to each channel in this little corner, that would, like, that would end up being a lot of channels. That's why I think this as a group project, as a charity, is something that can get us um, um, it's buying in. So I really like this image. I believe it's from How to Win Friends and Influence People, and it talks about both a chicken and a pig contribute to a ham and eggs breakfast, but the pig is committed, right? And I think we need some real commitment from people in this community. That's what I think.
So I've only hung out even, okay, sorry. So I've only hung out in this little corner for maybe a year.
Mm.
The majority of conversation is around people that, books that have been read. Not quite sure what she said. Books that have been read, different philosophy, Aristotle. Like, seriously, how often can I watch the same conversations go round and round and round and round? And I'm thinking to myself, so 30-something years ago, I got handed a baby and a whack of needs. I did not get to sign up for it or not. I was just given a job to do. And at that time, my mother said, if that was you, I'd have stuck you in an institution as soon as I could and gone on with life. Have you considered putting him in a group home or in a whatever? And I went, no, of course I haven't considered. This is my child. And for reasons of faith and all kinds of things, like where I believe that God talks to crazy people that are willing to listen, like me, I poured myself into a 30-year time frame and took him on vacation this year and finally got to have a really fun conversation with him. It took me 30 years of feeding into language and life and his mental health as well, and 1,000 things, and that I can even ask him those things. $5 a month is not going to kill me. I have given more than I'm still trying to figure out how to tell people what I've given, and I'm not complaining. I mean, it's pretty damn awesome. And I shouldn't swear on your YouTube channel, but it is.
Well, I mean, this is a lot less. We're not talking about like a lifetime commitment to a child. We're talking about recognition. And frankly, I think a lot of people are probably, they're reluctant because suddenly I'm going to have their actual name and address. They're doxing themselves, right? When you give that $5, right? I think if it was a hat that they could take $5 cash out of their pockets, which, by the way, honestly, the fact is, you can, if you really want to, go get like one of those Visa gift cards or whatever and make a $5 contribution if that's what you feel like doing. But no, like
Also, LAX.
Step out of the shadows. Like, there's some 200 people on my Discord server. There's definitely not 200 people who say things on my Discord server.
Oh.
I doubt very much. I think some 40, 50 people are on the ratings boards at all. Like, even first level on the thing. Like, people don't necessarily introduce themselves in introductions and stuff.
Yeah.
People, like, it's funny that people are so afraid. I mean, it's not funny. It makes sense, but like, most people want to lurk. That's why people watch this channel and would never. I mean, even Ryan, like, he's not coming on the channel, right? And he's one of the people who's actually contributed very significantly to this little corner. I mean, for anybody who doesn't know who Ryan is, Ryan programmed this little corner.com, which is like the as official as you can get official search engine for this little corner.
Could you pause for your over podcast is sitting out 5913. You'll be able to change check luggage on the first floor, terrace number 4. Once again,
I think they teach them in the same school that doctors' handwriting is taught.
Well, I'm trying to train myself to mute the mic whenever she's talking. But yeah, it's like the teacher from Charlie Brown.
Yep.
Yes, Hazy, we're talking to the lurkers. We're talking to the lurkers.
But that's important too. Like,
Smoking is permitted in designated.
like that's important too. Like, for me, so much of my examples that I talk about on on your Discord and stuff, they revolve around life. But in that place, I've learned, like, right from the get-go, people are going to stare because, hey, you have something interesting going on. Signing at your kid in public is different and not optional for being kind of weird and, people wanting to look. So I guess I'm not scared of that. But I get that people are.
Well, you're a lot more extroverted than most people are, Sandy.
Yeah, I know. My mother used to tell me I have to come out of my shell because I was so shy. Don't know what she was thinking. Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on who might be interested in, like, you've talked about retreats, you've talked about before online, you've talked about some of the people that that have degrees or practices that, might want to contribute. But are you thinking about who is on the receiving end? Thoughts on that?
Yes, there's definitely a long list of people who could definitely use our services. And they know who they are and they can speak about it if they like. I have been trying to be very
and airport personnel whose employment requires their presence.
I mean, we have to
More information can be found at lawa.org.
We have to respect privacy and stuff like that. But I mean, there's a lot of people, they know who they are, who reach out to me because they want to talk about things. And frankly, it would be nice for a lot of them if um,
Right. So having access to some,
what?
so having access to free counseling
Hmm.
is something that a lot of people cannot afford. I know in Canada, the systems I'm under, you sign up on a wait list if you want to go, or you do a drop-in counseling where you may get somebody different every single week, and every week you tell your story and you get really good at telling stories, but
So this is what I really don't like. So the conference, I'm not coming back from the conference. I'm going to the conference, and in fact, I'm flying out early. So conference starts on Thursday. Um,
Terminal, this will serve as a final boarding call for Temple Flight 2218 with service to
Um,
Charleston. MD 59.
so part of the idea of Fountain of Comfort being a public resource is, and I was talking to Emma's husband, whose name I constantly forget, Colin?
yes.
Yeah? Okay. Colin and Gage about this. And Colin actually has his bachelor's degree in economics, so I was actually quite shocked when he understood a lot of the economic terms I was using. But, I mean, mental health resources are a classic public good. They're um, they're arguably rivalrous, but they really are not, because if you're doing it correctly, it's not rivalrous. It's actually anti-rivalrous, I would say. And feel free to look up the word rivalrous, the economic term. And as far as excludable, again, I don't think it's really excludable. In a very real sense, it might, in fact, be anti-excludable. Look those up if you like.
To Spirit Flight 656, services to Pittsburgh, flying out of the gate
Oh,
56A.
this is actually mine.
You may completely see the washer if your mind's with you. You may put one personal item in one big carry-on. Only someone has a pink carry-on bag. If you have a carry-on that has not been paid for, please be quick now, since last-minute purchases do slow down the boarding process. If you're traveling with a car seat, stroller, wheelchair, or walker, you will need a tag for today's flight. Please see me now if you do not already have one. We have one big front seat available for $55 and one exit row seat available.
Selling seats.
If you'd like to upgrade your seat, please come see me again at gate 56A.
$25 for more legroom. Should I do it, Sandy? Should I?
You might want to. It's your one chance.
It's okay.
Attention at the terminal, JetBlue Flight 2218 with service to Charleston. You're picking his last customer
So,
by the name of
the economic system, the economic model by which we deliver mental health is silly. The person who receives
Goldberg, please have to gate 59 for JetBlue Flight 2218 with service to Charleston.
the way we provide mental health is not, it doesn't take into consideration the public. It doesn't take into consideration the public health, aspects of it, because there is such thing as socially contagious psychological dysfunction. We see that a lot, actually.
2218 with service to Charleston is picking his last two customers by the name of Robert Harris and Dylan Goldberg. Robert Harris and Dylan Goldberg. Please enter gate 59 as your aircraft is fully boarded and ready for an immediate departure. Doors are closing after this announcement.
And when we talk about physical health, so we have a model where, okay, you have nutritional information which you give to the public, right? There are people who are just like coaches, right? So they're physical, like coaches, helping you exercise, helping you keep healthy. And then we have like paramedics and EMTs and nurses. And then we have doctors, and then we have specialists. and there's a hierarchical system for delivering mental
Once
health.
again, ladies and gentlemen, this is a gate change announcement for American Airlines Flight 981, nonstop service to Philadelphia. There has been a gate change. This flight has changed to Terminal 4, Gate
That
47B. Terminal 4, Gate 47B for Flight 981, nonstop service to Philadelphia.
when it comes to mental health, we should have a similar model. The fact is that unfortunately, I think much of the American Psychological Association has been politicized. There are, if you read Jonathan Haidt's book, The Coddling of the American Mind, I think you see quite clearly that we are exacerbating a psychological pandemic of anxiety and depression, especially among young girls. Suicide and
One big front seat available, going as low as $15, and a few emergency extra seats going forth as low as $7. If you're interested,
$15. They're discussed.
please continue here prior to boarding.
They're trying. I mean, $15 for extra leg room. I don't know.
As low as 7, you never know.
As low as 7. If they keep on going lower, I don't. Maybe I'll. Okay. What was I saying? I was saying.
You were talking about Jonathan Haidt's book, and I just listened
Yeah.
to Peterson and Ricky somebody and Greg someone who wrote the book with Jonathan Haidt. So
He was making a joke, a Lutheran joke, because Lutherans make such jokes, because we all know being a Lutheran is tantamount to being a Nazi. But I'm joking. I'm joking, Charlie. I love Lutherans, Charlie. I love Lutherans. Because Jesus said, love your enemies. And you were saying, Sandy, about Jonathan Haidt's book.
I haven't read it yet, but they were talking about it in relation to the book.
1044, retrieving check legend person report first floor. Against Garrett's right from San Antonio, flight 1044. Retrieving check luggage and person on the floor on the first floor. Thank you for choosing
These announcements are really getting on my nerves now. You were saying what about his book?
Oh, just it came up several times during the discussion with Peterson and the two people I was listening to. They were talking about gender, but they weren't really talking about gender. I think it felt like they talked an awful lot about the coddling of the American mind.
Well, so Lukianoff recently came out with a new book, which I probably should read, but The Canceling of the American Mind.
That's the one.
Yeah. So he was a co-author with Haidt of The Coddling of the American Mind. And if we were a sane society, we would be paying a lot more attention to what Haidt and Lukianoff have to say in The Coddling of the American Mind. I've bought that book for people who are parents of little girls because I think it's just that relevant. I think if you're raising a little girl in this society, you need to read that book. But I mean, part of the thing is, okay, I've basically been this little corner adjacent.
Boop. He's gone. Let's see. Interesting.
Voting closes during 1 minute.
Yeah, so LAX wanted me to watch a 30-second
Voting is permitted in designated areas.
30-second ad to let me use the
Throughout the building.
Wi-Fi again. Um,
May I have your attention, please? All travelers, if any unknown person attempts to give you any item, including luggage to transport on your flight, do not accept it and notify airline personnel immediately. Do not leave luggage unattended. All carry-on and checked luggage is subject to search.
you're back.
I'm back. I was just going to write you a note.
I made a banner.
I see that. That's excellent. I was just saying participation is an important element.
Final call for all passenger on flight 327 with American Airlines service to Miami. Please proceed immediately through gate 53A. We close in more than 1 minute.
I do think this is a good idea, actually. Oh, I do think it's a good idea.
Well, you think what is a good idea?
Fountain of Comfort.
I think it's a great idea, but it's only a good idea if people actually, if people do actually end up signing on and contributing and making it happen. It might just be a huge waste of money.
So one of my things I was gonna ask, yeah, here. All right, I'll just talk really close. Ignore the forehead.
No, I'm just not turning the sound up because I don't want to bother everybody else who's here in the lounge. So go ahead, speak. Don't worry about
I
it.
want them all to know about this amazing opportunity. I think it's very important. But one of the things I was going to ask was, or maybe a big observation is, on your channel, there's an awful lot of us that are used to the just chatting streams. And when you are talking about Fountain of Comfort, I think it would be really good to have some of the people involved when you talk about some of the what's been done,
So
an actual dialogue that doesn't involve the chaos.
that is in the plans. We are, in fact, going to hopefully, possibly as early as next week, have some sort of telethon, 24-hour stream where hopefully all the members of the board of directors will be able to take the time, be there for people to talk to. I deliberately chose the members of the board of directors because of being people who are accomplished and trustworthy people, which at the same time also translates to all of them being incredibly busy people. Yosef obviously is very, very busy. Tim is very, very busy. I have been taking huge amounts of Trey's time. Jules is very, very busy.
It is with extra legroom, extra comfort of your emergency exit row seat. If you're interested of your seat for this flight, please come see us here at gate 56B.
They didn't give a price.
Would like to begin our pre-boarding process at this time. Guests who require extra time and assistance on the jet bridge, guests with children under the age of 5, and active duty military.
I don't know, like $5 for extra red room? Should I $5? Would it be $5 for extra red room?
It might be.
Okay, we continue with the Zone 1 and Go member. Zone 1 and Go member now welcome to board.
Okay, they're actually boarding, so I should probably go.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna end the stream. Thank you for jumping on, Sandy. I'll
You're
talk to you later.
Bye.